welcome to You Had Me at Paper. More specifically, my very first video on my You Had Me at Paper YouTube channel. I just created this channel today and wanted to upload this card. If you've made it this far already today, you would have received the tutorial for this card, so you have all the measurements, and you would have hopefully have everything cut and ready to go at this point. So I have just adhered some designer series paper to the envelope flap section, which is 2 3/4 inches by 5.5 inches. And the cardstock is 5.5 inches by 11 inches, scored at 2 3/4 and 7 inches. And there I just put on the bottom, the fold up section, a 4" by 5.5" designer series paper. Now I'm trimming from the back side the top envelope flap, just trimming away the designer series paper to make it nice and flush. And on the front side, you'll see there's no border with the designer series paper. It fits right across the width of the card. And the paper I've used here is, I just love it. It's a retired Stampin' Up! DSP called Softly Stippled. If you have it, I suggest you pull it out and get using it because it is beautiful paper. The cardstock I used is Calypso Coral. And so right here, I'm doing the exact same thing on the back of the front flap. I am just adhering a 2 3/4 inch by 5.5 inch piece of DSP onto the back side, just so that both sides are covered to give it more of a finished look. And this white cardstock is 4 inches by 5 1/4. I already have it pre-stamped, and the stamp I used was Stampin' Up's Thoughtful Wishes. Now of course you can use any stamp at all, any sentiment you want, any designs. The second piece of white is 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. Now the white pieces you can see do have a border on the Calypso Coral, so that's just how I preferred it. But this piece, this final piece of DSP, 1 inch by 5.5 inch, will cover the entire width to kind of match the top there. So that's the inside of the card. And the back of the card, now I'm just going to trim away, of course, the back side of the excess to keep the front the nice envelope flap that it is. Now we're going to add a sentiment with a die cut behind it. Again, this sentiment set is from Stampin' Up! Thoughtful Wishes, and the die cut was used, I used Stampin' Up's Unbounded Love die set. So I'm using dimensionals just to pop it up a bit. And I'm going to add, just for some extra flair, about 12 inches of ribbon. The ribbon I'm using here is Stampin' Up's Wild Wheat 3/8 of an inch rustic striped. Now I am adhering the ribbon through the dimensionals, and I've used my liquid glue to hold down part of the ribbon, but I suggest you actually use glue dots. Glue dots just work so much quicker and simpler, and you can just put the glue dot right directly on the die cut and stick your ribbon to it. You're not going to see it because this is the back side, and I've learned that glue dots work so much better with ribbon than when I did make this video. I was using the liquid glue. So you just kind of make it so that the front looks pretty and tie it off. It's about 12 inches. And then taking the backings off the dimensionals, you're just going to stick it so that all dimensionals are going to adhere to just the front flap. You don't want it to, of course, touch the bottom part of the card there so that you can open it. So just sticking it exactly where you like it, usually in the middle. I mean, it would look good off to the side too, wouldn't it? So now you could leave it just like this and it's finished, but I have some tiny little magnets that I bought from Amazon, and I absolutely love how the magnets are so strong. They're so tiny, but they're so strong, and it just makes the card snap shut, which I thought was a great feature. So literally I just added a drop of glue to the back of the magnet, stuck it right there on the back, just positioning it right to the exact middle where I want it. And then I use a little round punch to cut a piece of Calypso coral cardstock, just a little circle to put over the magnet. I thought that would be just a much nicer finishing touch than just having the magnet show. So I just put a little drop of glue on the back of it and sticking it right on there. Very easy, very simple. The hardest part about it is just it's tiny. So it's just getting your fingers to work with that. And now we're going to put the other magnet right directly over that, so that the magnet will just grab the new magnet. Put a drop of glue, and we're going to fold that up so that that magnet's going to hit exactly where it needs to be when you shut the card. So just going to hold it there for 1 second to let the glue set. And here I do find that the liquid glue works better than glue dots, just because it dries flatter, and the glue that I use is very, very strong, and it does dry quite quickly. So for me, it's a better option. And here I'm just, of course, adding some embellishments, some dots. And I'm just going to open the card very gently, so that I just pull the magnets apart, but don't take the magnet off the back side. So there it is, and I'm just going to, again, put a little round circle of the matching cardstock over that, just so it's covered. Now, you don't need to do that. You might be fine with the magnet showing just as it is, and that's totally fine. But just pressing that in place to making sure it's nice and dry and not going to move, and that is that. When you close it, you are going to be thrilled, because it just closes so nicely. So there's the card, and you can see I decorated the entire inside, so it's meant as a note card to write, to write a nice long note to someone you want to say hi to, someone you haven't chatted with for a while, a pen pal, a friend or family member afar. Now I have a 2.5 inch by 6 inch piece of DSP, and just adhered along the perimeter of the envelope flat a bead of liquid glue, not much, and just pressing that on and cutting away from the back side, just like we did with the card. Again, this is another optional add-on, but I figure, you know what, we spent this much time on the card, let's make the envelope just as pretty. I just love how it looks. It doesn't take a lot of paper. And then we're going to take it a step farther here and take a little piece that we just cut off and add a little corner embellishment to the front of the envelope. Now you can just, right here, just apply glue and then cut it away from the back, but I always draw a line, and then I put my glue inside the perimeter of that triangle, just so that I get it a perfect, how big I want it, or maybe how small you want it. Stick your little scrap piece of DSP on there, and then cut it away from the back. And I find this little tip with my envelopes just really brings it up a notch. I mean, it's just so simple, so quick, takes a tiny piece of paper, but just makes all the difference. So I hope you like that idea. And that's it. That's your card. Of course, you could use any paper you like, any embellishments, ribbon. I would love to see yours. Please leave a comment if you found this video helpful. This, again, is my very first video, and I'm sure it will evolve over time, and I look forward to making more for you. Have a great day.